My story, Toccara Williams, born and raised in Hollywood, Florida. I attended South Broward High School, won two state championships there in basketball.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you. My sophomore season and my senior season. My junior season, we were number one in the state, and we ended up losing one game in the entire season. And that one game that we lost was the game to go to the state championship. And it was more of a matchup issue than anything else. So we ended up losing that game, but we came back the next year stronger, more hungrier, and we won by a large spread. So it wasn't my first state championship. We won by 1 point. Low scoring game. We knew the team. They knew us. So both teams were very familiar with one another. So in that aspect, you're playing kind of playing mistake free basketball, and you have to really work the system and know your opponent. And we won that by 1 point. But my senior year, we ended up winning by probably 30. So it was definitely a drastic change. But from there, I got a scholarship to Texas A&M, a full scholarship to Texas A&M to play basketball. And I broke many records at the school, in the conference, in the NCAA as well. I'm currently the only player in NCAA history to have one steal and one assist recorded in each game. I had the most minutes played, male or female, at Texas A&M. I was the first player, male or female, to ever record a triple-double. So very proud of some of the accolades that I have. Yes. So from there, I got drafted to San Antonio. Now, I was predicted to go in the first round, the number 13th pick. It didn't happen that way. I went in the third round, the 34th pick. And when that happened, I kind of felt a little sad because when you're expecting to do one thing and then it happens another way. But I also capitalize and maximize on my opportunity of just getting drafted, because when you think about it on a bigger picture, there are hundreds of thousands of student athletes trying to get to the WNBA, which only has 144 roster spots. So I was able to make the 144, which I'm very proud of. At the time, you're not thinking of it in that aspect, but very proud of that. And during my time of playing professionally, my sports agent told me to get my real estate license. I knew nothing about real estate. I didn't even know why she told me that, but it's because California, which is where she was based at, is a hot market. South Florida at that time, hot market. So, she told me that we can refer deals to each other, and we could just get paid merely by referring the deal. So I was like, you know what, whatever, let me just get my license. I got my license, and the rest is history. I've been doing real estate for a while. I actually was doing it part-time because after I finished playing basketball professionally in 2012, I started coaching basketball. I stayed close to the comfort zone, and we know everything that you want is outside of your comfort zone. So when the pandemic hit, I decided to go fully into real estate because I couldn't coach. I couldn't train kids. I couldn't do the tournaments that I was doing. So I said, you know what, let me just make a pivot, make a crossover, and crossed over into real estate, which is something that I already knew because I educated myself on the topic when I got my license. And I was doing deals here and there, but I fully engulfed myself in it, and the rest is history. Yeah, well, the thing about it is basketball for me and many others as well, it's a connector, right? Basketball connects you to so many different things, but basketball also teaches you a lot of life lessons. And those lessons that I learned playing basketball and excelling at such a high level, I was able to incorporate those right into my real estate career. And it was kind of easy and turnkey for me. I was a point guard in basketball, so that means I'm kind of directing people, guiding people, helping them, trying to tell them what to do, what places to be in. It just fits in real estate too. It went hand in hand. So about it is, when you're working with other agents, they're essentially not on your team per se, but we are on the same team because we're trying to close the same transaction. So I look at that person as that's my teammate. And although we're representing two different clients, we still are trying to get to the same common goal. Same thing in basketball. You might not like your teammate, and that's okay, but you have to respect the position. You have to respect the person. So that fit directly into real estate. how do I do a comparative market analysis when it comes to real estate? I know that sounds so scary and intimidating, but it's just comparing properties to properties, the same property. And that's what we did with scouting reports in basketball. You have to know your opponent. You have to know what they do, their strengths, their weaknesses. So that's what the CMA is, what we call the comparative market analysis. That's what that did for me. So a lot of similarities, maybe different terminology, but a lot of the same similarities. Figure skating, like you said, we're all athletes, right? And we
Yes.
we all have these intangibles that companies want. Major companies want what we have. Number one, we know how to work with a team. That's cooperation. We're coachable. Someone can teach us. We're easy to learn. We're quick decision makers because within our sport, we have to learn how to make decisions quick, or it's going to hurt us if we don't make a decision quick. So, we learn how to make good decisions quick, on the fly. We can adjust in any situation. So it's a lot that you can do with an athlete. And I'm not saying you can't do this with an average person, but the
Right.
athlete is kind of trained to make decisions this way and to function this way. And we have those intangibles, so definitely use them. Okay, so right now I'm on the pay attention, right? So pay attention, and from that grew my APERI, which is APERI. So pay attention came to me. I have a friend who, he saw me always posting a hashtag of something different, and that hashtag was stay woke, right? So, it's a cultural thing for sure. So he told me, it was like, you can't stay woke. You gotta sleep, right? And I'm like, that makes perfect sense. You gotta get sleep at some point. So he was like, sometimes when you're in school and you're not listening to what the teachers say, they may come up to you, hey, pay attention. And he was like, I think you need to go with that. So, it made sense. I went with that. And it's just been something that has been, people always come up to me now, hey, Miss, pay attention. But it's definitely something to keep at the forefront, and I keep at my forefront, because you need to pay attention to the things in front of you and the things within you. So the APERI, the APERI, is a mantra that I've come up with, and it's about assessment, position, expectation, role, and individuality. Absolutely. And when you're sleeping, pay attention to your dreams. There's visions there. When we dream, we do get visions. And sometimes we can act on those visions and make those visions come to reality, because our subconscious mind doesn't know that we're asleep. So when that event is happening in your mind, your mind, your brain thinks it's reality. But that's how, for me, I achieved a lot of dreams and a lot of my goals because I was able to visualize them. I had to see myself in the present form, living that life that I wanted to live. And, my mind couldn't fathom whether I was there yet or not. I knew if I was there or not, but, just having visualization and acting upon it. A lot of times we have things in our heads, we never act upon it, so it's not going to happen. Absolutely. And in the a period that I told you about, I actually just got it from, like, what happened, how did I become successful in basketball? What happened when I first started playing? My coaches had to assess me. That was me going to the tryout. Assessment, the
Right.
assessment is all about you. It's who you are as a person, what you bring to the table. Like, that is solely all about you. Then once you're assessed, then we can put you in position. So once you know your position, we can give you an expectation. Once you know the expectation of your position, now here's your role. Now that we've given you the role, where's your individuality and your integrity that you bring to the position that you're in? So it just made sense. It just flowed for me. And I'm hoping that I can share that with the masses in the world, because one prayer that I always had, I pray to God that He just uses me as a vessel to bless others. I've been saying that prayer since I was a kid, and I feel like I'm in transformation and it's happening. And I just want to keep doing it to the best as I can at the highest level.
Understanding of it.
Absolutely. You got to pay attention. If I could go back and just really talk to my younger self, I was one to never back down on my dreams or never let anyone deter me from achieving them and going after them with everything in me. I was always fully committed to that. But what I would tell my younger self is to just be being open, understanding that when you reach a level of success where you have a platform or you're trying to get to a certain level, just because you get disappointed doesn't mean you stop. Because a lot of times we can feed ourselves negative energy and negative thoughts, and we allow that to stop us. So I would tell my younger self, don't stop, keep going, keep pushing, utilize your platform, utilize and ask people questions. No question is a stupid question. There are no dumb questions in life. Find a mentor in whatever situation that you're in and allow them to guide you. It's just like a coach. So I would just tell my younger self, hey, be bold and be open and be courageous. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pay attention.